So I was born and raised in China. Spent my first 24 years here. Went to university. Um, you know, when was in the early 80s when I did that, and then I went overseas for 10 years. Lived in U.S., in Canada, Korea, Hong Kong, and then came back about 12 years ago, and have been here since. I grew up at a very different time. You know, I was born in the 60s, so it was a moment of dark moment in Chinese history, if you will. Not just a moment. I think it's a decade. It's a lot longer than a moment. It was a time of scarcity. But one thing was good at the time when we were growing up, though, was the sky was beautiful blue all the time, and air was fresh, and the ocean. I grew up in Dalian, so it was a seaside city. The ocean is clean and clear. You never have to worry about pollution. But it was difficult in that we were living with lots of ration. You know, there's lots of rationing. You can't eat meat whenever you want to. You can have flour or rice whenever you want to. You know, you can buy new clothes anytime you want to. That's what I refer to when I say, you know, we live in a moment of scarcity. We were never starved or anything, but certainly it wasn't a life of abundance as we know today. This last 30 years of change has brought material change to so many people's life, and I myself is one of the benefactor of that economic reform, and I would never have dreamed of life today 30 years ago when I was a little girl growing up in Dalian, running around on the beach. Never would have dreamed of that. Well, the question is whether the American dream is attainable, or whether it should be attainable. And I think it would be unfair to say, well, the Chinese shouldn't desire to have a luxury house that's 400 square meters if they can't afford it. You know, I think you can say that, well, you cannot have two cars because you know the world has been too polluted. You guys developed late, so you shouldn't have two cars. You should take public transit. Of course, taking public transit is great. It's cost efficient if all of that is good. But I think the real question is if they can, whether or not they can attain those dreams of having, you know, better living environment, good housing, and convenience of automobiles at a sustainable level. That is, they can have those dreams, but not at the expense of further deteriorating the environment. And I think we can do that if we're creative. I think we can do that if we allow more new material to be used in construction, for example, that can be more environmentally friendly, that allow for, you know, better use of energy. We can certainly involve in terms of using more renewable energy, whether it's solar or wind, or you know, what have you. All of that can be integrated. We can certainly use new energy cars, you know, electric vehicles, and if those cars were to be promoted and widely adopted, those car dreams for the billions of Chinese, I think can be achieved. I'm not saying that everyone should go out there simply because that is the dream, but if they so desire, and if they wanted to have a car, if the industry still wanted to grow and continue, the demand is there, but we needed to meet demand with a new method, with new technology that is available, with a new thinking.